And that's where all the mess began, which was a miracle itself. The main lesson of 2024: be mindful of what you wish for, because sometimes the wishes come true scary fast. When we dance alone. My 2024 didn't go as planned. I welcomed this year with a very defined wish to find stability and to grow in the same place where I was, with the same people that surrounded me at the time, doing the same activities. Cut to December 2024, I've moved abroad, I've changed 3 jobs, I've faced the most uncertain stage of my life and taken the biggest leap of faith, or maybe a few of them. I decided that in this video I will be brutally honest about all of my decisions this year. I get asked really often about how I handled moving abroad on my own, or why I jumped into the uncertainty when it seemed like I had everything figured out really well back at home. You wonder how and why I embrace certain changes, huge changes, so easily. Some of you might think it's stupid, some might admire the courage, but in this video I will simply explain the thinking process behind my decisions. So I'm not judging or evaluating my actions, I'm simply telling a story, much more honestly and openly than you expect. You can observe, I'm leaving it up to you to decide whether it's exciting or challenging or simply stupid. I'm here telling all these stories with one big goal, proving to you that you are capable of much more than you think. Especially when it's the holiday season and we're all waiting for a Christmas miracle. Well, you are a miracle. So I want you to believe in yourself, and I want you to hear my story as one of the many, showing that if something is not perfect, it can still bring joy and warmth and faith. So where it all began. I celebrated New Year in Kyiv with my best friends, at home, playing board games and chatting a lot. By the way, we also had a friend coming over who we saw for the second time, I think, already explains the rationality. So we spent 24 hours celebrating with almost no sleep, with a destroyed bottle of whiskey that remained untouched. That was a healthy coincidence. And with the replicated scene from Home Alone.
Oh my god!
So, the coziest, the friendliest celebration. At the time, I was about to change jobs. I have signed an offer from a new company on January the 5th, and that's where all the mess began. Before that moment, I was working at the same company for over a year. I have learned a lot there, I fell in love, I grew professionally, and I've had the most comfortable stage of life outside of work for that moment. But nothing lasts forever, so I decided it was time to let go. Quite literally got sick before the final conversation, because I was that nervous. But I did it, I quit. Then, despite all the red flags that I saw in my new employer, I decided it would be a great experience for me and started a new position. It was a corporate version of me working from the office, going out for a coffee with colleagues daily, going to fancy yoga studios, but also being completely not okay with local approaches to work. It became clear very quickly that we have completely different visions on the product we were working on. I don't regret coming into this situation at all, because it truly was a good experience for me. I had to speak up all the time to be heard, or not, but this way I learned to communicate my thoughts professionally much better than before. And also this position was me walking away from an imaginable comfort zone. It completely turned my life upside down. And it's not that I didn't like how it was before, I loved it. However, I believe that growth requires change. So, in order to progress as a professional and as a person, I needed to change something. So, I grabbed this opportunity even though I saw some flaws from the start, and then I walked away as soon as the disadvantages started overweighing the benefits. And also, I was drained of motivation to continue at some point. This situation taught me to let go quickly, to make decisions based on how I feel quickly, and so I quit. I didn't send out too many applications for new jobs, but I did get an offer within the first week or so after quitting. It was fate. So in April this year, I accepted an offer for the most challenging role in my career. This one was definitely life-changing. I started building content processes and a content department in a Dutch startup. I am happy with how we managed to perform as a team. We've done a lot of high quality content, multiple formats. We were very adaptable as a team. It was genuinely a really good cooperation. And I also had a chance to work with one of the most powerful AI tools on the market. I have built dozens of AI agents and I created AI teams. So it was an exciting experience for me. Meanwhile, it was exciting and inspiring and maybe even fancy in a way. It was also really hard. It was about the amount of challenges and the level of effort they needed to go into every single one of them every day. And mind me, at this time I'm also preparing to defend my diploma at uni, which is one of the best universities in Ukraine, so even if you are not the best student, which is definitely my situation, you still have to get done a lot to graduate. And also at this time I'm in Ukraine, clearly, and what it means is blackouts. We've only had electricity for 4 hours a day for the whole summer because of the attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure. And it also means attacks on our cities. When we woke up from explosions in the middle of the night and had to sleep in the hallways. All these factors in a combination look like me leading an international team working 24/7, trying to graduate while running around the city to find electricity so that I can maintain this schedule. In a way, it was all a blur, but I still was living my life, spending time with friends. I successfully graduated, which was a miracle itself. We celebrated graduation probably for a week daily, and even had a little weekend trip after the graduation ceremony to have rest. I also celebrated my birthday with the best friends ever, had a fantastic vacation, and somewhere in the middle of it all, I also made a big decision to move abroad. The most honest reason why I chose Spain is the one that I usually don't name, because I don't want it to sound sad, a soft word for this situation. The reason is I was looking for the easiest way to move away from feeling as I did, and I didn't care too much where exactly I was going. It doesn't mean that I was ready to go absolutely anywhere. I like Spain and I had clear boundaries about the countries that I definitely wouldn't go to. However, what led me to Spain is not an obsession with the sea and the sun, not the desire to party hard and enjoy Spaniards. What actually led me here is that the country seemed fine on the bureaucracy level. It's not as expensive as other options that I liked, and I was too exhausted to be picky. I simply wanted to be a bit more safe and to go to bed every night, not preparing to run off and hide in case I hear a ballistic attack on the city. Again, I like Spain. I wouldn't come here if I didn't. I'm lucky enough to have this choice for now, but the true scenario also involves everything that I've just named. We've gotten to September. In September, I'm already in Spain. A week after moving, I'm suddenly left with no job. It was kind of a mutual decision. There was no other way to go about it. And now I understand how lucky I am that it happened like that. And I realized it even the moment it happened. But still, I was panicking hard. I have just come to a foreign country a week ago. I don't know anyone here yet. I don't have the necessary documents yet. I don't even have a permanent apartment at the moment. And on top of that, I don't even have a stable income. How stressful was it? As much as you can imagine, and 3 times more. The good part of the situation is that I was prepared for anything. I knew what I was throwing myself into. And also, I finally had a chance to have a rest. Honestly, as much as I've enjoyed working and all the progress that I've made thanks to this project, I was also exhausted. I remember on the days that we decided not to continue cooperation, I woke up thinking how good it would be not to work for anyone and not to wake up at 8:30 because someone decided so. So the main lesson of 2024, be mindful of what you wish for, because sometimes the wishes come true scary fast. When the panic started calming down and I handled my emotions a bit, I continued settling in the country. I was busy with the documents and accommodation search. I've moved cities. After organizational moments, I started enjoying being here. My autumn was the time of no rules. I could sleep as long as I wanted. I could work the whole night knowing I don't have to be somewhere early tomorrow. I could stay in for a few days if I didn't want to go anywhere. I also had a few trips, and there was a weekend when I traveled to 5 cities within 3 days, went to a concert. One more important part about my autumn is that I started this channel and started posting more frequently on other social media platforms, and I realized once again that content is both my job and my hobby. So I'm very privileged in being able to do what I love most in my daily life. Now it's December. It's going a bit messy, but my main goals for this month are to declutter, to reflect on the year that's going away, which that video was very helpful for, and to set goals for 2025. I'm also going on a trip and trying not to pressure myself with lists of tasks and just see how December goes naturally. This year felt differently every month. It has opened new doors. It has revealed new senses for me. It showed me how different I can be again. And I finally got to the point of knowing what I truly want. So thank you for being with me through this little reflection of my year. I hope you found an interesting part in my journey, and I will be happy to see you in my next videos.